Okay. Good morning and Jai Jagat everyone. Okay, so last time we had begun with the chapter of India and climate, and we saw the two seasons that happened in India, that is the winter season, and then we saw the summer season as well. Today we are going to begin with another topic, that is in the monsoons in India. Now, we all experience rains in the country of India? Yes or no? Yes. So can anybody let me know which months experience rainfall in our country? Or rather, in which months do we experience rainfall? Raise your hands to answer the question, please. Yes.
In our country, we experience rainfall from June to the end of September.
Very good. June to end of September and sometimes towards the middle of September in several areas. It varies from area to area. Also, you people must be aware of the fact that not every area experiences the same amount of rainfall. Like our areas are the ones which experience moderate amount of rainfall, whereas if you go to the areas along the places like Mumbai, these are the ones which experience good amount of rainfall almost throughout the year. Then there are certain areas in central India like the areas of Deccan Plateau. These are the areas which do not experience even proper amount of rainfall during the monsoon season. So today we are going to have a look at how do the winds, or rather what factors influence the rainfall in our country. What factors cause rainfall, and then why does the amount of rainfall vary in our country from place to place. Is that clear? Let's have a look at a video first. Okay, please watch this video carefully.
India experiences the monsoon season from June to September. It's a time when most of India experiences rains.
Okay, so June to September they said, like from the month of June to month of September, but this can also vary from place to place in our country. Like if we talk about our own city, do we get rainfall in the month of June? Do we get rainfall in the month of June? No, it begins towards the end of June and beginning of July. And by the middle of September, we almost are over with our rainy season. Yes, so it varies, but on an average, it happens from the month of June to month of September. Let's continue.
Let's understand why these months in particular bring rain to India. From March to June, the sun's rays fall directly over the region between the equator and the Tropic of Cancer.
Okay, I hope this is clear to everybody that from Tropic of Cancer to equator, our country lies in the tropical zone, and this is the place of the earth which receives overhead rays of the sun almost throughout the year.
It is summer in the northern hemisphere. Since land gets heated faster than water, the land masses in this region, including the Indian subcontinent, get heated much more than the surrounding oceans. Due to the extreme heat, air becomes warm, rises up, and causes a low pressure area in the northwestern part of the Indian subcontinent.
Okay, this process is clear to everybody? If you remember, we spoke about this in the previous classes also, that how does low pressure area develop over land in a certain region. That is, during the daytime when the rays of the sun heat the land in turn heats the layer of the air right above it. And as a result, this air expands and tends to rise up. Now, rising air causes low pressure on the land in that area. Fine?
In comparison to the land mass, the sea heats up slowly, and so a high pressure area develops in areas over the Indian Ocean. Due to the difference in pressure, the southeast trade winds which prevail in the southern hemisphere are drawn towards the Indian subcontinent. But as these southeast trade winds cross the equator, they get deflected to the right due to the Coriolis effect caused by the Earth's rotation.
Now, let's explain or learn about this, that how do the winds happen to change their direction. Now, if we just get back to our knowledge about the planetary winds, just a minute, let me open this up. Okay, so if we get back to our knowledge about the planetary winds, we will see that, fine. Sorry. That if this is our Earth and this is the 0 degree latitude, we have Tropic of Cancer, that is 23.5 degree north latitude, and we have Tropic of Capricorn, that is 23.5 degree south latitude. Now we know that from 0 degree till Tropic of Cancer and from 0 degree till Tropic of Capricorn, there are a set of planetary winds which prevail, and these are called as your trade winds. Now in the southern hemisphere, these trade winds, they blow in this direction. And since we know that the winds are always named as per the direction they are coming from, what will be they called as? They are called as southeast trade winds. And similarly, in the northern hemisphere, these winds, they blow in this direction. And since they are always named as per the direction they are coming in, they are called as your northeast trade winds. Okay, so now we know that our country of India lies somewhere in this part. This is the arrangement of the peninsular part of our country, and we know that the southeast trade winds are the ones which are blowing in the southern hemisphere, very far away from our own country. Now during the summer months, like we saw in the video also, the land area of our country tends to develop a very high temperature. As a result, a low pressure region develops over here. Fine. Whereas the surrounding water bodies which remain comparatively at a lower temperature, yes? And they have what kind of pressure over here? High pressure. So because of the development of low pressure, we know that the winds always blow from high pressure area to low pressure area. That means high pressure all around and low pressure right over the land areas. So this low pressure tends to attract these southwest monsoon winds, southeast trade winds blowing in the southern hemisphere. Now as these winds, they cross the equator, what will happen to the direction of the wind? Will they continue blowing in the same direction? No, they will change their direction. In the northern hemisphere, the winds always get deflected towards their right. Okay, please remember this. If we have a look, these winds, as they cross the equator, they will get deflected towards their right, and as a result they get deflected towards their right and blow over the Indian subcontinent from southwest direction to your northeast direction, forming or creating those monsoon winds which bring rainfall to our country. Is that clear? Like if we have a look at the video again, if we see the video, so these winds which you see blowing from southwest to northeast, they are nothing else but the southeast trade winds which have crossed the equator and got deflected in this towards their right direction in the northern hemisphere. Is this clear now? Okay, let's continue.
These winds blow from the sea towards land. They gather moisture that finally brings heavy rainfall to the Indian subcontinent. Thus, these winds are also called the southwest monsoon winds. Due to the peninsular shape of India, the southwest monsoon winds are divided into two branches.
Okay, so everybody is understood with the fact that why are these winds called as southwest monsoons? Because they are blowing from southwest direction. Winds are always named as per the direction they are coming from. And now we know that the peninsular part of India is the one which heads deeper into the Indian Ocean. Because of this peninsular shape of India, the winds have been divided into two branches, or rather they appear to be coming from two different water bodies. So they are named accordingly. The winds which appear to be coming from the Arabian Sea part, they are called as Arabian Sea Branch. Whereas the winds which appear to be blowing over the Bay of Bengal area, they are called as Bay of Bengal branch of southwest monsoons. Is that clear? Let's have a look.
The Arabian Sea Branch and the Bay of Bengal branch.
Okay, so I hope this much is clear to everybody. That how are the winds originating, how are they getting attracted to the country of India, then what is causing the bifurcation of the winds into two branches. This much is clear to everybody? Okay, moving ahead now. Now we'll see that of the monsoon wind enter into the country of India and cause rainfall in different parts of our country, or rather to which parts of the country do they bring rainfall. Okay, let's continue.
The Arabian Sea branch of the southwest monsoon winds splits into three sub-branches. The first sub-branch hits the western coast of India, the earliest near Kerala in South India, and then hits the rest of the western Ghats. This brings heavy rainfall to the western coast of India, which is on the windward side of the western Ghats.
Okay, let's have a look at the chapter now, or rather the map here. So like you people have already done in the map work as well. So if you see, this is the area where you have your western Ghats, a mountain range which almost borders the western border or the western coast of our country. Now as these winds, as these ranges are almost continuous in nature, the Arabian Sea branch which is coming or blowing from sea to land, this way, the Arabian Sea branch which is blowing from sea to land, they happen to strike the western Ghats and then cause rainfall on the windward side of the western Ghat. And what is the windward side of the western Ghat? The western coastal plains. They cause rainfall on the western coastal plains. But by the time they cross over the western Ghats and reach the interior, they are comparatively warm and dry and they cause almost nil rainfall there. Is that clear? Negligible, very little or almost no rainfall. Fine?
The eastern side of the western Ghats receives very little rainfall as it falls on the leeward side of the mountains.
I hope this is clear to everybody.
The second sub-branch of the southwest monsoons of the Arabian Sea branch hits the Indian coast north of Mumbai and moves inwards along the Narmada and the Tapi river valleys.
Okay, let's get back to the map again. Now if you see in this map, you have the Narmada river flowing here. You can check in your books as well if the map is not very clearly visible. You have your Tapi river flowing here. South of Vindhya range, you have the Narmada river, and then south of Satpura range, you have your Tapi river flowing. Now these are the two river valleys which do not have any kind of mountain ranges. As a result, they allow the Arabian Sea branch winds, to enter from these area and cause rainfall in the regions of central highlands. Is that clear? Where are these winds coming from? They are coming from Arabian Sea branch. They are entering the Indian continent or Indian country from the areas of Narmada and Tapi valleys, and they cause rainfall in the areas of central India. Is that clear? All the regions of Madhya Pradesh which get rainfall usually get rainfall because of these winds. Okay. As you can see here.
This causes a fair amount of rainfall in central India as well as the Chota Nagpur plateau. After this branch merges with the Bay of Bengal branch. The third sub-branch of the Arabian Sea monsoon winds hits the Saurashtra Peninsula and Kutch area of Gujarat. The winds run parallel to the Aravallis in Rajasthan. This results.
I hope everybody is aware of the location of the Aravallis. If we just get back to the map again, so you can see this is the Aravalli range in the Rajasthan area, and it almost lies parallel to the direction of movement of Arabian Sea Branch winds. As a result, the areas of Saurashtra Peninsula, Kutch area and the portions of Gujarat do not receive any rainfall from this branch of monsoon winds. Is that clear? Why? Because the Aravallis, they lie parallel and they are not able to stop or obstruct the movement of the wind. Fine?
Results in scanty rainfall in this area. The winds move on northwards towards the Himalayas.
Look at the purple ones. Okay. So as they move forward, they strike the Himalayas, because if you can see in the figure also, the Himalayas appear to be lying in an almost perpendicular fashion to the movement of the winds. So when they strike the Himalayas, they again cause rainfall on the windward side. And what is the windward side? Our own country, or the areas of northern plains form the windward side of the Himalayan region. Is that clear? And since Himalayas are a very high mountain range, they aren't able to cross over and reach the Central Asian parts. Okay. So now we are going to have a look at the Bay of Bengal branch. We are done with the Arabian Sea branch and how it causes rainfall in different parts of our country.
Bengal branch of the southwest monsoon winds blows northwards towards southeast Bangladesh and the coast of Myanmar.
Okay, now if you notice here one thing very clearly, we saw that even the Arabian Sea branch was blowing from southwest to northeast, and also the winds which are blowing over Bay of Bengal, they do not change their direction. They continue to blow from southwest to northeast direction. Is that clear?
The presence of the Arakan hills along the coast of Myanmar, however, deflects the monsoon winds towards the Indian subcontinent.
Okay, so I hope now you have got an idea that how are they able to enter the Indian subcontinent. Otherwise, they could have moved straight and crossed this region to reach the other parts of Asia. Instead, they are getting deflected and moving towards the northern plain part of our own country.
As the winds hit the lower ranges of the Himalayas, they cause heavy rainfall in the Ganga and Brahmaputra Delta region and in the windward side of the Khasi and Garo hills of eastern India.
Okay, so if you remember, when we were doing the map work, we have discussed this fact as well. Like why is Monsoon the wettest place on earth? So now if you see, we have the Garo hills, then we have the Khasi hills and the Jaintia hills right along the international borders of Meghalaya and Bangladesh. Fine. Now arrangement of these hills is almost in a semicircular pattern, because of which all the Bay of Bengal winds, all the Bay of Bengal winds which cross over Bangladesh, they get trapped in this area and cause rainfall on the windward side. Now what is the windward side? This is the windward side. The border area is the windward side, and this place hence receives very good amount of rainfall, or you can say the largest amount of rainfall in the entire world. Fine, and making it the wettest place on earth. Now after this, they finally again move towards the interiors of our country, towards the northern plains. They keep striking the Himalayas in the north and cause rainfall all along the areas of northern plains. Okay, so like it's whatever we discussed right now, Cherrapunji being the wettest place on the earth, that is same thing mentioned here. We have already seen why.
Running parallel to the Himalayas, this branch of the monsoon winds finally moves towards the Indo-Gangetic plain. However, there is a progressive decrease in the amount of rainfall as the monsoons move towards the low pressure area in the northwest of India.
Okay, so I hope this much is clear to everyone. The Arabian Sea branch, how is it causing rainfall over different parts of our country, and the Bay of Bengal branch, how is it causing the rainfall in different parts of our country. Clear everyone? Okay, let's move on to the last part of the video.
In this way, the southwest monsoon winds, after splitting into the Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal branches, bring rain to most parts of India during the months of June to September.
Now, along with this, despite of so much amount of rainfall or so much movement of wind which is bringing rainfall to our area, there are certain patches in our country or certain regions in our country which still do not receive any rainfall. We'll have a look at them. Okay, so there are certain areas, if you see the areas of Tamil Nadu, since the winds are almost parallel, they do not cause any rainfall in this part. Also, there are certain areas of Deccan Plateau which lie on the leeward side of the Western Ghats. If you remember, they are lying on the leeward side of the Western Ghats. So, these are the areas which are not receiving any rainfall from the monsoon winds. Is this clear to everyone? So, with this we come to the end of the topic. We will continue with the other one next time. Thank you. Continue, Ravi. Why? Sorry. Let's continue down with the distribution of rainfall then. Okay, moving on to the next one, that is distribution of rainfall. So, now we'll see that what areas receive what amount of rainfall throughout the year because of southwest monsoon winds. Let's have a look. Now, the entire country of India is divided into three categories. One which receives heavy rainfall, the other one which receives moderate rainfall, and the third one which receives low rainfall. Okay, so can anybody let me know what category falls under heavy rainfall? Come on. If an area receives more than 200 centimeters of rainfall annually, then that area is said to be the one receiving heavy rainfall. And what kind of areas will we have here?
Western Ghats. The areas which receive a rainfall from 100 centimeter to 200.
Okay, what else? Like we saw, western coastal plain. This will be the one receiving heavy rainfall? Yes or no? Because it lies on the windward side of the Arabian Sea Branch. So, this area is the one which receives very good amount of rainfall, and as a result, it is called to be said to be an area receiving heavy rainfall. Then we can name another one, the one which receives maximum rainfall in the world. Monsoon in Meghalaya. This is another area which receives very good amount of rainfall throughout the year. Fine. Now moving on to the other category, that is your moderate amount of rainfall. Now what do we have here? The area which receives 100 to 200 centimeters of rainfall annually. The area which receives 100 to 200 centimeters of rainfall annually, this is the one which is said to have a moderate amount of rainfall. Can anybody let me know what kind of areas will you have here? Odisha, okay. Eastern Maharashtra.
Central parts of India.
Very good. Then you have Ganga Valley will be a better option rather. We have Ganga Valley here. Fine? Okay. Now coming down to the other set, that is area receiving less amount of rainfall, or what you call it as low rainfall. Now areas which receive less than 50 centimeters of rainfall annually. I hope the color is visible. The less than 50 centimeters of rainfall annually, they are said to be the areas receiving low rainfall, or also the word scanty is very prominently used here. Okay. Now what kind of areas will fall under this category? Sorry? Western Rajasthan. Give me a minute. Wait. Let me finish writing. Western Rajasthan, then we can have Ladakh, then it can be Jammu and Kashmir as well. There can be endless options, but these are few which you can always remember. Is this clear to everyone? So depending upon the rainfall, we can categorize our country into 3 categories. One is heavy rainfall, moderate rainfall and low rainfall. Now, and please remember the categories like 200 if area receives more than 200 centimeters of rainfall, it falls under the category of heavy rainfall. Areas receiving 100 to 200 centimeters of rainfall, they fall under the category of moderate rainfall. And areas receiving less than 50 centimeters of rainfall, they are said to fall under the category of low rainfall. Okay, moving on, now we'll talk about what happens during the winter season. Like we saw during the summer season, we have the winds moving from sea to land. They are called as southwest monsoon winds and they cause rainfall in different parts of our country. Now we'll see that what during the winter months, what changes take place in the movement of the wind and why do the majority part of India not receive rainfall during the winter season. Let's have a look at the map given. Just a minute. Okay, now as we saw during the summer months, the pressure over the land areas is very low and over the water body areas is very high. What will happen during the winter months? Just a reversal in the pressure and temperature condition. During the winter months, like if we just talk about, during the winter months, the land area usually develops what kind of temperature? Temperature. It has low temperature. And what kind of pressure area will develop? It will have high pressure area. Whereas at the same time, if we talk about the surrounding water bodies, what kind of temperature will they have? They will have comparatively at high temperature. And what kind of pressure will they have? Low pressure. Fine, very good. Now we know that winds always blow from high pressure to low pressure region, and we have high pressure area over the land here and we have low pressure area over the water bodies here. That means the wind should move from land to sea. Yes, and we know that earth keeps on rotating on its axis continuously. That means what? The winds will move, or rather they will get deflected into a certain direction because of the rotation of the earth. This we have studied in the previous classes also. Now winds, because of the rotation of the earth, they move from land to sea but in a direction from northeast to southwest. They always move from northeast to southwest direction. Is that clear? And because they are blowing from land to sea, will they carry any moisture with them? No, because they move from land to sea, they do not carry moisture with them, and as a result, they do not cause any rainfall in the major part of the country. Like usually towards the western part of the country, this entire area does not receive any rainfall during the winter months. Is that clear now? But what happens to the areas lying on the eastern coast of India? We know, have seen the eastern coastal plains of India. What is the northern part of eastern coastal plain known as? Northern Kirkars. And what is the southern part called as? Coromandel coast, as we have it labeled out here. Now like rest of the entire country, the winds come out from the northeastern part of our country along with Bangladesh and Myanmar from northeast to southwest direction. Yes, now they are moving from land to sea, they do not carry any moisture with them. But as they move over the sea areas, as they move over the Bay of Bengal area, they happen to pick up some amount of moisture with them. Now we know that we have eastern Ghats lying all along the eastern border of our country. Yes or no? We have the eastern Ghats bordering all along the country, and we know that eastern Ghats is not a continuous mountain range. This we have already seen in the map work also, you people have marked. Can anybody let me know the reason why they are not a continuous mountain range? Why are they not a continuous mountain range? Why are they broken at several parts? Or rather missing at several parts, I should say. We know that we have a number of rivers originating in the Deccan Plateau area. Yes, and these rivers, they flow eastwards to finally drain into your Bay of Bengal. So as they move eastward, what is the major work done by the river? Erosion activity. So as these rivers, whenever they had moved from the Eastern Ghats or through the Eastern Ghats, they have caused erosion at several places, causing breakage or causing the gap in the Eastern Ghats. Is that clear? And that is the reason why they are not a continuous mountain range. So now what happens is, as these winds, they are moving over the Bay of Bengal, they tend to pick up some moisture, and as they continue traveling further, they come and strike the Eastern Ghats along the eastern coast of India. Now when they strike the Eastern Ghats, in this fashion if you see, Eastern Ghats almost fall perpendicular to the direction of movement of the winds. Now if the mountain ranges are forming perpendicular to the movement of the wind, what will happen? What will happen? They will cause rainfall. What kind of rainfall is this? Relief rainfall or the orographic rainfall. So now we know that this is the area, or the Coromandel coast is the area which lies along the windward side of the Eastern Ghats. It lies along the windward side of the Eastern Ghats, and hence is the one which receives good amount of rainfall during which season? Winter season. Fine, because these winds are blowing from land to sea during the winter months, and this area receives rainfall during the winter months. Now can anybody let me know what state falls here, or what is the state receiving rainfall during the winter months? Tamil Nadu. Very good. Tamil Nadu is the state which receives rainfall during the winter season. And what part of Tamil Nadu? Only the Coromandel coast area of Tamil Nadu receives rainfall during the winter months, whereas rest entire country almost faces dry conditions during the winter months. Now these winds which are causing rainfall in the Tamil Nadu Coromandel coast area, and since they are blowing from northeast direction, what is the name given to them? They are very popularly referred to as northeast monsoons. They are usually referred to as northeast monsoons. Is that clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm done.